let your mind just be empty. It doesn't matter if there's some going on, just don't hold anything at all. Hold no shape at all for a moment. I know you can do this. Or rather, listen to my words, let them be the light in you for now. Don't hold on to any shape or any intention. This is a beautiful exercise. Whatever it is that's been knocking from the inside in your head, just don't pay any attention now. We've come to that stage right now for tonight, just to say, cut that, unplug from that. I just want presence. I just want to feel you and be with you in presence now. And I will tell you, it will be infinitely greater than any question that you have had and had the chance to ask. Just let everything go now. You don't need any special skill for this. Just the will, not the skill. You just let everything go. Just be empty. And trust that the vibration of what you've been paying attention to is already resonating within your heart and being. So don't go to mind. And of course, this is one of the things that's been happening in Satsang more and more. Whenever we call and we use the word Satsang, people start to think questions. I'm going to give you a different thing now. Don't think questions. Don't think. Just to be in the being right now. Just being only, just being. Being is not a doing. It is an allowing of yourself to just let go of the mind traffic and the thing to do list. Let go of all of that, completely of that. Okay? No images are needed. No imagination is needed. And just be empty. The emptiness that I'm speaking about here is not something that you can create. It's what you are allowing yourself to be. It is there already. It's like if you've been watching TV for a few hours and you feel like keep watching something, and then somehow an impulse just to switch it off. And there's just a silence. That silence is always here. Now, one more step. That in which the silence itself is perceived. The silence now is present. It's almost like a kind of physical silence almost, but it's more than that. But now the awareness of silence also. Use the word awareness, the awareness in which even the silence itself is perceived. Again, this is not the outcome of some doing. Just seeing, recognizing, but it's not a dualistic seeing. We're in the space of only awareness now. Don't hold on to any shape, nor be any shape for a moment. You're not creating. So you're just naturally aware. Whatever shows up in the space of your being, that is okay. That can just be there. But that's not something to interfere with right now. Nothing to pick up. There's nothing to use. There's nothing to become. There's nothing to change. And why is that? because you yourself are empty. I don't mean like you're empty, like there's a can that's been emptied and there's a can left. There's no can. And there's no container and no contained for a moment. This is not an hypnosis. This is just clear emptying, not allowing your attention to caress or to cling to any idea, however subtle. And yet, there's no cynicism, there's no dismissing. And even if there's a self-image, like the body is appearing in your consciousness as a kind of a reminder of what you are, that is only an idea. So if you feel I've come to a place of real silence, the silence itself is only the kind of perfume that comes from this, which is not an object. This I would call the very ground of being itself. You may use this term if you like it. But this ground is not a level. It's not earth. You are not drifting. If there's some feeling of driftingness, that's not you. You may be aware of driftingness. There's no shape or dimension to what you are. And again, I don't need to ask you, nor do you need to imagine anything at all. Because if something imagined is there, you'll also perceive that as only another shape appearing in the vastness that you are as awareness, you see. You have not become anything at all. Now, if you feel some mind movements, some mind chattering and so on, that's only because the attention is still trying to catch you into a shape or a memory of yourself as a person. And remember, that is also a shape. Just remain shapeless. Now, it might feel that this is something you're doing, but I'm only asking you to be empty and to notice. That emptiness is at the very root of all things. It's totally natural, not contrived, not imagined, just recognized somehow. If anything is pulled into the mind shape, it is only your ideas and habit and the tendency to identify yourself into some shape called a person. Now, this may take time, and you may need to sit with this as often as you can. That this is fine. But however long it takes you, when you discover it, it has always been here, as it is right now. But it hasn't arrived. What I'm speaking about, the very essence of yourself, has not come from anywhere, nor can it go. All that comes and goes are illusory and momentary. And just as I'm saying all these things, pointing from this empty, all what I'm saying is coming out of this emptiness. But the emptiness is not affected by it at all. Only from that emptiness, there's a field of harmony, and out of this field of harmony, these words come to guide you so that you keep out of that which brings disharmony and come to a clear recognition, a non-dual recognition, a non-phenomenal recognition, a non-object recognition. That is yourself here and now. yourself will never become a construct that is created in the mind. All that is created in the mind, none of it is stable. It comes and goes. What you are discovering is that alone which is stable. It's always here. That alone which can be called eternal or timeless. If you are to discover this in another lifetime or 10 lifetimes or 10 minutes or 10 hours from now, whenever you discover this, what I'm speaking now, it will be just the same as it is right now. There's no object to find. There's no philosophy to fulfill. There's nothing to become. It's more a kind of unbecoming may feel more real than becoming something. Because the self you cannot become. It is what you are. But find it difficult to recognize on account of the culture of personhood that's developed through the mind and being. And if you feel I'm not getting this, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And through your satsang, you are learning more and more to discern the difference between your mind and yourself. Mind came from the self, dances in the self, and subsides in the self. The self has no movement to make. So at the end, as we are coming to the end of satsang now, for today, don't make any conclusions about anything at all. Please listen to me. Don't make any conclusions like something, so your mind is making some kind of conclusions about what you have heard. There's nothing to do at all. The serum is already in. Don't give it to your mind. Trust this. Trust this. Now I felt that. I felt this and I felt this. As I said, trust this. Something I don't know where exactly that's coming from now and how many of you, something just let go of that, of some shape. And, it is so discernible. You can just be comfortable. There's nothing to keep. There's nothing to know. Our sharing inside your being, the natural intelligence of your being, the natural grace of God in you is already functioning. It does not need the extra help from your mind. It just interferes. Trust this. Okay? Yes. And so the time has come for me just to have a few moments to sit with you, to simply rest and delight in your company a little bit. A few moments. And thank you for this coming together. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity to, again, only paying attention, that's all. We're not in the classroom. Only settling in yourself. Watching the illusory waves of the mind and so on. Don't get entangled in all of that. Don't worry. Mine is an easy way. And an ease on the way also. We make trouble for ourselves by too much holding on to the mind and thinking that somehow this is some sort of intellectual procedure. It is not at all. Just hold on to nothing at all. And I want to tell you that this is not just about tonight or today or this moment. Have this attitude. Don't worry. Remember these words don't take shape. And trust that, and you'll see how freeing it is, and at the same time how truly responsible it is. How efficient and harmonious. Accept it and let it be released in you. Don't tighten yourself around anything at all. And remember, there's nothing to imagine. Self has nothing to do with imagination. Of course, it creates this ability, but as you're rediscovering the truth of yourself, you will not be so inclined to make things up and to be pushing your head into different shapes. Everything is just fine like that. Be easy in yourself. Of course, there will be times when effort is required, and trust that if effort is truly required, it will also come naturally. Learn to trust life. It is not forceful. Of course, there's force and there's power, but when it's moving in the right timing, you'll see it's all grace and appropriate. So, like that. Very good. Bless you.
Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupoham, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupoham, Nityoham, Shuddhoham, Buddhoham, Muktoham, Nityoham, Shuddhoham, Buddhoham, Muktoham, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupoham. Ah